E for eminywizard.com and marketwizard.com. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. It's 11:31 on the 4th. Primary trade should be ending soon. We're still thinking we can break this low, possibly come down and test, close that gap at 64. That's the obviously 64 and a quarter gap. Risk and reward certainly coming in. And we think this is our support zone right now that don't get caught. Target, this is called a support target. And this zone is where we think the next play could be. And it's where you get caught sometimes on bounces. And so this is the hardest range to try to finish. You've had a good trade. You've come down close to what you want. And then the closer you get to your destination, the more it slides away. It's just a phenomenon that seems to happen over and over. And you can eventually get the target you want, but normally you'll get these little pushes back and forth. So the only way to really trade it is to either take your stop out, re-enter, or be willing to give back. And sometimes you'll give back a lot more than you think. That's the hard part in trading. And that's why my conservative nature says always make sure you get paid at your primary targets. Primary target, I said, was 68. And below that, the good fortune part. Just the way the market likes to work. And so it's easy to sit there, say on Twitter and make a call. Yeah, somebody had mentioned a nice call yesterday, and I kind of addressed that with him. I think his name was Skyler. But it's not just about your target. It's about, as Anthony Crudelli says, how did you get there? Or did you take a 10-point, drawdown to get two more? That's really what he's referring to. And good traders like that understand it. That's why you try to catch pieces of the swings. Unless you're an out-and-out position trader or swing trader and you don't care. But as a day trader, you're trying to do this 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Get your VIG. Get your 2 or 3 or 4 points. Get your 5 points. Got a trailer. Maybe I can get 8. That's what you're thinking. Lock it. Okay, what's next? It's like a baseball, batter. He's not trying to hit 4 home runs at one time when he's up at bat. He's just trying to get singles and doubles, and if he gets the right pitch and if he gets the right swing on it, maybe he hits it out of the park. It's going to be a sequence. It's going to be a series of at-bats, and that's the way I look at trading. It is a 1-minute chart. And you can see, same idea. Crossed underneath. Pokes above it. That's why one's a little bit fast. It'll still give you the idea of it. 2 will generally give you just a little bit better perspective of it. See how this blue line has kept this contained all the way? Blue line got underneath our rain line, bounced back, stalled, and this is the umbrella trade on a small time frame, but not the 5s, right? So on a small time frame, yes, but on a 5, well, let's put the 4s. Here's our 4s we said that we were hitting. Obviously not an umbrella trade because we're above these moving averages. The fact that this is so much higher than this makes it really hard to break. And here's our 5. So theoretically, this is our fighting range right now till one of those lines breaks. Remember when we started, I said there was an edge to the shorts because we started underneath the blue line. This is the best example I can give you of a range type trade. I call this the funnel. We're in this blue line battle against rain line. And that is not a negative for the market because we have not touched this line in a few days. This is just a regression type trade as long as we're above it. And I said, we will come back to it. You can see how long we have been above that. At some point, you get stretched too far. You know, this is 100 points ago, how egregious this trade was. And this is the perspective that I said I thought fairly neutral environment where we need a regression trade just to try to allow these moving averages to catch up because we've gotten so far ahead of ourselves. So a little Chinese water torture here, just drip, drip, drip. Timing wise, make sure you are paid. 68 was our primary target. Anything below, I'm considering good fortune because we're in a risk and reward territory price-wise, but also time-wise right now as well. As the primary trade is ending. Sure, there's no way the longs, in my opinion, are going to get within the next 10 minutes, take out the IB high. So that means the primary trade has been down and we got the direction correct. Two-way day, I said, I don't think we'll have an all-day sell. I still don't think so. I do believe with the day off tomorrow that shorts are going to want to cover and take some profits. And that's the reason why I thought today would be a two-way day. So this is get her done. Anybody that wanted to come back towards the gap, we've had a great morning. Tails, tails, tails. There's a 15-minute chart. Target we said could be that 61 and a half, 62 area. We'll use that as a support target. Got to get the gap first, obviously. So we've come close so far. And we said this would be our target zone down here for support. And as you get closer to it, that's the problem. You've got so little remaining versus even a small bounce that still could get hit and come down. But we'll take it. It was a good morning. All right, we're going to break here. I'll see you guys in the Slack room. One last look. Support zone. And this is a key idea. We're into the deep support zone. This breaks and we have to readjust. And this neckline, we can see just how good this has been. About a point away, point and a half away. And this is where my recommendation, don't get caught. Should be on a trailer if you're into this. A reminder, we were looking at yesterday's range. This is a key. We'll monitor that now for the rest of the day. Back up above at 73 and a half, market is bouncing. Below it, still seeking support. I hope you had a good morning. Hope you learned something. And we'll see you guys in the Slack room. Be well. You're welcome, Melissa. Thank you, Zeke. Great posts. That's exactly right. That's why we use stops, because you, on a good day, if you're going to be right 60 to 70% of the time on your best days, that's probably a pretty good average. Well, Zeke, I don't know, can't tell you how many times you've saved all of us with your great posts. So I'm glad we were able to help. And I think that Dave, don't forget, you got a lot going on too right now. You well.